there is strict integration of digital devices, and I have restricted to this audio video devices for effective teaching learning. These are objective of the project as to access effective technology devices so that I can make students learn effectively and efficiently. Other dimension that to strengthen the usage of technology devices by mutually learning from during using the our learning in fact right from manual activities and ultimately to link this at the level of efficiency technology to realize the overall mission of the university. Two devices are identified. One is that is podcast and another is video. In podcast, I had preliminary training that was conducted by the university here. I had created one. And I don't use them substantially on, I use only one this term which ended in April. But I am going to use them in the next term starting in July. Same cases for video, that I have been using videos in the class but which I have not done so far. In the next slide we say that I have not been able to edit them and say incorporate my part into it. Actually I was inspired by when I was attending a course by Professor Pankaj Himawat on globalized enterprises. So wherein he came with these slides and in between he came his own video created at a certain place, let's say headquarters of WT and so on. So that was very interesting and I found very interesting. So I thought I should develop that thing for my students. For podcast, I have learned and created one strategy is practice. So I just
let's start with practice first. So how we have examined the move to study the micro levels of strategy, paying particular attention to the strategy as practice perspective. So we showed that the strategy as practice perspective fundamentally moves away from modernist and positivist views of strategy that focus on the macro scale of organizational activity toward a more micro level, humanistic, behavioral, interpretive approach to strategy making and execution. Integrating these insights with the ESCO model that we saw earlier, we arrive at the summary as explained below.
So it is 5-10 minutes podcast. Yeah, that this my plan is to create 5 to 10 minutes podcast.
Is there any kind of developed opinion on what's a good length for a podcast?
This is I have not researched about it, but my idea is what happens. Normally I start my class with a case lecture and further build upon this theoretical framework. So I create a podcast and upload in the note. I expect students to listen. The positive point is that they don't read one-page case and now they forget it the movement. So they can listen to that while they're walking or having breakfast on their mobile also. So once they come to class, so we can start discussing from there, assuming yes 100% they may not, but that is my assumption. This now students now they say tech savvy, they will listen to at least podcast. They don't read the books.
So that's what I'm trying to ask you a question, because when I go to TED.com to try and see, if anything is less than 10 minutes I see. If it's 11 or 12, somehow this is my problem or my yes. So I'm trying to say that when you're trying this with your students, you should try and get a sense of what's the distribution of people who are indifferent to length and what's the sweet spot. So theoretically, let's say if we figure out that 4 minutes or less, I'm just saying 4 minutes, then we could actually collectively say, okay, let's just work towards a new podcast thumb rule that 4 minutes. I'm just saying like that. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. But then even the learner knows, yeah, I can do that. Between this and that, I can get a podcast. Right? Between my something and something, where I'm getting ready to have a bath, I've got 50 to take. Small, छोटा bed.
6 minutes is the average. then you can chunk it down, like there's more topics, more capsules of 6 minutes. And like you said, because they're normally wired and walking and driving.
So anyway, I'm just,
So
yeah,
I
I
told,
want to
I
describe.
told the attention span for video is 6 minutes and for audio is half of that. For a song normally is 3 minutes. 3 minutes. So imagine you
3
can.
hours.
Sorry?
Video is 3 hours. But
No,
serial
no.
is 30 minutes.
No.
Less than 10.
That why did TED talk 6 minutes and 80 minutes is the largest. 6, 12.
Okay, so you have tried this or you have
I tried only once, but usually I'm going to try this next one. I'll prepare.
So is there a need for us to recognize the importance of how to communicate or a style of communication, or we should leave that as each person to decide?
That's very important because the voice intonation, modulation, and how it impacts it. It's not just speaking, it has to connect with the audience and like emphasizing on specific words, business vocabulary.
So that could be phase 2 perhaps. Let's just build first and then we can see. It could be useful to, if we are going to do some of these things,
For an open
then it will be good to get a person for a day-long workshop of how to deliver a 5-minute thing most effectively, and then 15-20 people are building podcasts to benefit from that. So that could be, I think, part of our development activity.
I have thought in this that if student is seen as a researcher, if student is seen as a user of your technology, peer learning, if teacher is seen as a learning designer, as a coach, by definition, the interaction becomes decentralized distributed. Each one of us are different, having 8 different avatars at this moment. So we are not only 40, but we are 40 to 8, 320 people sitting here at each moment. So then the communication itself, if you see in a traditional way, starts having limitations. Maybe I may be whatever it is, I may be a sparrow, or he may be a lion, and so on and so forth, and we communicate differently. And yet we create a kind of a echo sound which is stronger than the nadam that the Brahman. So I think the communication is for the change and not for mere Shannon's So I think what kind of class, what kind of teacher, what kind of interaction, the connector, I think that will be more important part. And then we can communicate differently. And even then, who otherwise is considered to be a failure, will also start participating very quickly.
Okay.
And so this was for podcast and still using videos.
So you have been using podcast now? Or you will
Yeah, I
start?
used once. Because I used once. This from in April. So I had a training and I'm going to use them substitute in
Next term,
Yeah,
yeah.
full course around 13, 14.
So any other people looking at podcasts and the possibilities in their next term teaching? I would encourage you to apply your mind and see, because then you can have a little community of experimenters to see what works, what doesn't work. If 5 of you are doing it, it would be very, very powerful.
I would recommend going beyond the podcast. I'm not saying that there's nothing right or wrong about it, that's not what I'm saying. So I'm saying one possibility is video. The other possibility is pure audio. Podcasting is pure audio.
Like mobile when you're walking.
Yeah, but now what has happened, most of the phones are smartphones. Therefore, if you were to do an audio along with some scribble like we saw in the other one, that may be actually very, very effective. You may consider the pros and cons of it.
I think also within building to subject, where you have graphic support, then it's okay. But if you're talking management concept, I'm still imagining a kid walking around, going from A to B, he goes in a walk. So maybe it starts as a podcast, then becomes something else, then becomes video, then becomes, because the ease and difficulty will also matter, the relevance will matter. So thousand room really would work.
Yeah, and ask your student.
Correct, then I'll ultimately that. That's the acid test. Podcast of the week can be then invested into make something better.
I want to add one more point on the duration of podcast or video. Actually, what I feel it's also depend on the topic we choose. I want to take the example of students who are eating their food in mass. So sometimes they feel the food is not good. So I think the duration is short for that. Sometimes they feel that some type of dal or some other thing is very delicious. So they try to in more quantity spending more time. So what I feel the topic is also important to decide the duration of video and podcast. So if we are fixing, because maybe there are some subjects for which 2-minute podcast is enough, but there may be some topics where 10 minutes is also a very good length. What I feel.
No, so I think that's the whole point. That when you're starting on something, some thumb rules are helpful for starting. When you don't know whether it should be 1 hour or 5 hours, then someone says, look, 6 to 8 minutes is great. When you become really good at it, then you start discriminating and saying, some things can't be more than 4 minutes, too heavy. Something you need to tell a story, you need more time. Then like Vijay said, something lends itself to a sketch. Somewhere your face has to be there. Those are then higher and higher levels of differentiation, which everybody has to do.
It's not a compliance requirement,
It's not a compliance, just at the minimum level you reach and then you flower into your direction. Okay.
So your video, I have been using video so far. I mean, downloaded from YouTube and other sources in the class, and then we discuss and based on those videos.
You use a lot of it?
Not a lot. I have, I mean, in a course, 5-6 videos there.
Out of how much?
30 hours.
Out of 30 hours, 30
15.
sessions. You will do, in 5 or 6 you will do some video.
Yeah.
So what is your experience?
Experience, I mean, students are really interested in watching videos and discussing forward. Rather than actually, normally what we do, we have a printed cases, we give them, they should read and then we have a discussion on that. So I cannot say this is not a replacement of that, it cannot be. But case along with this video on the same topic, around the same topic, that makes the class very interesting. That is the feedback of students. So that is fine. So I have been using it. So what next I am doing it, what I am interested, that I am interested to customize videos. For example, say I use this video case. Now what I observe the problem.
Back in Persia, his palace empty of family and friends, the fugitive King Darius hopes for a political solution. He offers to ransom his family with a peace treaty, gold, the hand of his daughter in marriage, and all the lands west of the Euphrates River. His offer is generous. The Greeks can return home conquering heroes with an empire stretching from the Balkans to Libya and as far east as the Euphrates. One of Alexander's most experienced generals, Parmenion, is delighted by the terms. If I was Alexander, he urges, I would accept the truce and end the war without further risk. So would I, Alexander scoffs, if I was Parmenion. Many of his men begin to wonder if their leader has finally gone too far. He's gambling all they won against the weight of the Persian Empire. When the armies meet, the battle will be fought by nearly 400,000 men. But it will hinge on the courage of only one. A year has passed since Alexander's victory at Issus. Camped in Mesopotamia, his men while away the time competing in sports to keep their edge. Behind the scenes, their leader is making plans. Alexander has rejected Darius's offer of ransom, setting the two adversaries on a collision course. The Persian king has little choice but to prepare for a decisive confrontation. Summoning all his troops from as far away as India and Afghanistan, he forms one vast imperial army of 300,000 men.
So this, what exactly I want.
You had us all very focused.
So actually I use this video case as a lead case in the strategy management course, where the problem I faced, at once the student will just watch video very carefully and then sometimes we tend to lose exact topic. So I want to pause and insert a video, so putting myself to raise the questions so that I can take students step by step to build upon the framework. So that is basic purpose.
So what category of IT intervention will that be?
That's a challenge actually I have not
I
yet.
don't think there is any correlation.
You don't think?
I don't
You don't think very confident. That's not the only problem. Anyway,
But he's saying I don't think so anyway, I'm not doing it.
no, but this is great. So you want to arrest at various points, interject, and say reflect a little.
Yeah.
Then discuss and then go on.
Correct. So step by step you can build.
So you are doing it physically now, but you want to interject it so the student is sitting in
Yeah.
the room.
Also I will try to attempt to use that in assessment evaluation also. But I can give some small video for 3-4 minutes and use it as a case also. Also can be considered video-based examination in the lab. So rather than having this video case, they have go through the entire course. They can and encouraging students to submit projects in video form, initial partial. Attach the videos to reinforce their challenge. You can see here.
So now you are giving me that. Another one, next issue.
One challenge remains with this. Actually, this is really user facilitating. But to fresher students and these students, that the problem is that video cases are really good for executives because they know the context. But for fresher students, this using video case can, limitation is that they are not context. The business management is highly contextual. So I am going to use this as an aid, not totally replacing the paper. Other challenge that remains copyright issues, and I am really happy this actually today morning of my assignment. This is really worth exploring more and more. Must know each and everything as we practice and protecting ourselves and
So I would say that Shraddha, lead to the one or two of you want to help and form a little group.
yeah.
Inform you to study, read something, and at least we can connect up outside to see who's studying this in other institutions or organizations or whatever. And then we can provide